All right. So when we talk about cybersecurity, cyber threats, things like that, I've heard you say specifically it's not kind of an if, but it's a when. So if you haven't been hacked, you will be. It's just a matter of time, kind of a thing. What should marketing and communications be doing? So we have people, especially in the larger organizations, that are specifically looking at this stuff every day. But what should marketing and communications do to help within the organization?
Well, I think one of the things I would say is you have to have this conversation before something happens, right? And so if marketing and communications isn't working with IT ahead of time, getting to know each other, understanding what the roles and responsibilities are when something happens is important. Developing that relationship. Secondly, I think the marketing side really needs to start, the communication and marketing side need to start thinking ahead of time about, for when it does happen, how are we going to communicate this? And get as much of that as you can pre-done, pre-prescribed before something happens. Because when it happens, it's going to be a crisis. And you're not going to have time to think it through like you should.
Yeah.
So the more of that you can plan ahead of time, I think the better off you are.
And whose responsibility is this on a daily basis? Now, certainly in some organizations, maybe that is the CIO, but talk a little bit about like who within the organization is spending time on this daily.
Well, of course, it depends on your organization, right? What levels you have. We have a risk manager, so somebody from risk should be certainly involved. Somebody from compliance. In the healthcare space, we have somebody who's over compliance, the CIO, and I think really from the marketing communications aspect, it needs to be somebody from that team who's working with the rest of those groups to help think through. You're going to be busy trying to solve the problem. How can we help communicate and keep the public aware if it's needed, the employees aware, and even the internal leadership? How do we make sure that leadership knows what's going on? Because oftentimes they're the ones asking questions and people are fighting fires and they don't have time to put down the fire extinguisher and come explain it.